Today I've got several Halloween DIYs for you. This is in participation with the monthly minis challenge hosted by Corie from the channel Crafted by Corie. I will leave the link to the playlist in the description box, as well as Corie's channel link. So when you're done watching here, make sure to check out that playlist for more Halloween inspiration. Let's get started. For this first DIY, I have one of these thrifted glass shades. It was very inexpensive. You can often find them at thrift stores. And I gave it a few coats of Ivory chalk paint, and now I'm just painting a ghost face. Wanted to make him a hat, so I'm just taking one of these fall folders from the Dollar Tree. I felt like it was a little bit stiffer than my cardstock that I had. I just traced around a glass, for a circle template, and then I'm tracing around the lid of my paint bottle here to make a smaller circle, and then I'm going to cut that out. This is the brim of the hat. And I'm just going around the inside of this circle here, making little slits, and then I will fold them up. This will give the glue some more surface to hold on to. Now I'm just cutting out a strip of the cardstock here to be the main portion of the hat. I will size that just right and then use some hot glue to secure it, and then I'll hot glue the brim onto the hat. Then I just use the top of the hat to trace around. And then I will cut that a little bit bigger than what I traced because the top of my hat isn't a perfect circle, and then I'll just trim up the excess after I glue it. I have these old men's dress pants here. They had a stain or a hole or something, and I'm just going to use it to cover the hat. When you're working with spray adhesive, make sure to look around your workspace and that there's nothing important laying around. You wouldn't want the adhesive to get on because it goes further than what you think, and it's really difficult to get that spray adhesive off of a phone screen. Don't ask me how I know that. You could get more meticulous with this hat and add different embellishments on it. I'm just doing sort of a rough top hat. I sort of had in mind that maybe it was an old top hat. Maybe it was, the ghost's top hat when he was still alive. So I wanted it to have an old vibe, so I didn't mind, a little bit of fraying. But I did want to touch up where I got a little too heavy-handed with the trimming of the fabric. And you can see the paper underneath. I just went back with a marker and darkened those spots up so they didn't stand out so much. I decided I wanted him to have a monocle, so I'm just using one of these book rings from the Dollar Tree, spray painted one side black, And then I'm using some E6000 to glue it to the ghost. The chain is just off of an old necklace that I had, and I just used some wire cutters to trim that to size. Afterwards, I did take and just sort of roll the edges on, each side of the hat to make it upturn a little bit. For this next DIY, I'm just using this scrap piece of wood. I got it from outside in my scrap pile, and it has recently rained here, so it was a little bit wet, but it worked out fine. And I just gave it a coat of antique wax, and then I have these wooden letters. I spelled out Boo Yall, and I'm going to give them a coat of Ivory chalk paint and then glue them to the block. For this DIY, I'm using this canvas from the Dollar Tree. I believe it's a 6x9. It's either a 6x9 or a 5x7. Pretty sure it's a 6x9. But you might be able to see better. My screen is small right now. It had some flaws. The wooden frame underneath had a couple of broken pieces on it, and so I just went around with my file here and made some more grooves so that it looked like it was on purpose. I will have this printable in the description box, and it's just the background for this piece. To make a sturdy back for this, I'm just going to glue the printout onto this chipboard, thin chipboard, but you could use cereal box as well. I just used some clear school glue to attach that and put some heavy things on it until the glue's set up. I have these two plastic skeletons from the Dollar Tree. They came in a multi-pack, but I don't remember how many came in the pack, but I'm just cutting off the little loop on top of each of their heads that has the twine and then cleaning that up with a utility knife. I'm going to be cutting off the humerus bone off of this skeleton. I have these candy eyeballs from Walmart. They come in a couple of sizes. I'm using the smaller size that they have, and I'm just going to hot glue those onto one of the skeletons. I'm just going to use hot glue to attach this skeleton to the inside bottom of this frame. Now on this other skeleton, I'm cutting his arm in half here so that it can be bent upwards, because these little skeletons, you couldn't, bend their arms. They were stiff. And I'm going to have this skeleton hold the humerus bone of the other skeleton. I just took the rest of that skeleton's arm and glued it to the floor like his arm had fallen off and into pieces. This piece did stand up, but it was a little bit precarious, easily knocked over, so I just glued one of these tumbling tower blocks on the back to give it a little more stability. I wanted all these pieces to sort of match each other, so I wanted to add some of the ivory chalk paint because I kept repeating, that color. And so I just went around the edges and did some distressing and sort of outlined the frame, and I went back and did that on the Boo Yall little sign as well. For this one, I'm taking a couple of hunks of this oven baked clay, and I'm just going to shape them into a couple of little ghosts. I saw some pointy-headed ghosts on Pinterest. I thought they were adorable, and I thought it was a unique shape, so I went ahead and just form those out and use this little tool from the Dollar Tree to carve out their eyes and mouth. As an alternative to using clay, you could also just go out into your driveway, which is what I did if you have a gravel driveway, or out into your yard and find some rocks that could resemble ghost shapes that will stand up on their own. I'm going to give these a coat or several coats of ivory chalk paint. Now the clay, I didn't read the directions well enough or didn't follow the directions well enough, and I burnt my little ghosts. They look like their hair caught on fire. So, but it's okay because I'm going to paint them with the ivory chalk paint anyway. And for this last one, I took one of these mini terracotta pots. I believe I got these from Walmart. And this little terracotta pot must have had some strange coating on it because the antique wax just didn't take to it like, it dried fine. It just did a weird thing when I went to wipe off the excess. I don't know, I can't even hardly describe it, but it didn't matter because I wanted to make this pot look aged anyway, so I did some dry brushing of some ivory as well as some black on the top. I have this printout. It's from a Frank Oz book. I'll leave a description and I'll leave a link in the description box to where I got the imagery. But I just took a little piece of wood, scrap wood, and glued it in the bottoms of this terracotta pot so I would have something to glue this little hand to. And I got this hand from the Dollar Tree. I didn't show it, but I used a little support behind the hand there. After I glued it, I had to use a lot of hot glue, so it takes a while for that much hot glue to set up. But then I just poured some coffee from the Dollar Tree to represent dirt inside the pot. You could put name cards if you were having a party to use this. Also, you could do like Halloween postcards. I think that would be cute, or a photograph. That's it for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. Don't forget to check out that playlist link in the description box. I want to thank Corie for hosting this monthly challenge. Check out her channel as well. She is a super talented crafter, and you'll find lots of DIY inspiration over on her channel. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.